Dicky is a very poor boy who attends one of the best schools in his city. His father, Ti, works as a construction laborer and spends every cent he earns to pay for Dicky's private education. Miss Yuen, his teacher, cares deeply for him and is concerned that the boy always arrives at class with dirty clothes. She tries to speak with Dicky's father, but the boy explains that his dad is always too busy working. Since Dicky's mother died when he was very young, he spends most of his time alone. During class, when the students are asked what they want to be when they grow up, Dicky says he wants to be poor. He explains that his father told him that if he grows up to be honest and hardworking, even as a poor man, he will still be respected. While Dicky speaks, his teacher, Mr. Chow, accidentally drops his pen. Dicky picks it up and hands it to him. However, Mr. Chow reacts unexpectedly. He orders the boy to put the pen back on the floor and then uses a cloth to pick it up, disgusted that Dicky touched it. During lunch, a wealthy classmate named Johnny brags about his newest toy, a robot dog called CJ1. At that moment, Dicky notices Maggie, a girl in his class who is significantly larger than the other children. While the boys mock her, Dicky intervenes and tells them to leave her alone. They ignore him and walk away. In gym class, Dicky is not allowed to participate because the teacher says his sneakers are inadequate. A few minutes after class starts, Maggie joins him and says she pretended to forget her shoes so she could sit with him. She asks if all his shoes are that old, and he admits they are, as his father found them in the trash. Even though Dicky admires his father and is not ashamed of him, he wishes for new sneakers so he can participate in sports, which he loves. At the construction site, Ti struggles with exhaustion. His boss decides to fire him, but Ti begs him to let him stay, explaining that he needs to buy a fan for his son, who cannot sleep at night due to the heat. When the boss asks why he insists on sending his son to a private school, Ti responds that he wants his son to have more opportunities and not end up like him. Moved, the boss allows him to stay. That night, Ti arrives home with a fan tied to his bicycle. They live in a partially demolished, abandoned building. Dicky is surprised and happy to see the fan until he sees that it doesn't work. He suspects his father found it in the trash, but Ti insists he paid a high price for it. In the end, Dicky has to use a hand fan to cool off. During dinner, Ti cuts the rotten parts off an apple to give to his son. Dicky takes the opportunity to ask for new sneakers, and Ti promises to get him a pair. Before bed, they play one of their favorite games, hunting cockroaches around the house. The next morning, they watch television through an electronics store window. The news reports a UFO sighting, but the photo is identical to the head of the man who reported it. Clearly a hoax. While Ti watches the news, Dicky sneaks into a toy store and finds a toy similar to Johnny's CJ1. He begs his father to buy it for him, promising never to ask for anything again. But Ti has no money and asks him to return it. Dicky refuses, and after a brief argument, Ti slaps him. The boy returns the toy and runs out of the store crying. Ti follows him and finds him with Miss Yuen, who says she wants to visit their home to discuss Dicky's situation. Ti avoids the visit by saying he is too busy with work. That night, Ti goes to a junkyard and finds a pair of well-preserved sneakers for Dicky. He also discovers a television and tries to see if it works. Suddenly, a flying saucer emerges from the wreckage and flies away, leaving behind a strange green toy. Ti takes it home and tells Dicky it's something even better than the CJ1. The boy only finds a sticky green ball and feels disappointed, but he takes it to school anyway. Johnny mocks the toy and says Dicky's father probably found it in the garbage. When Johnny threatens to insult his father again, Dicky defends him. Johnny blows a whistle, and a huge boy named Dragon appears, who grabs Dicky and throws him aside. That night, Dicky is scolded for fighting and ruining his uniform. He complains that they laugh at him because of his stupid toy. While he explains what happened, the toy suddenly activates. It begins to move, spikes grow out of it, and it opens a black hole. Scared, Dicky throws it away and starts seeing ghosts around the house. Ti ignores him and begins fixing his uniform. Later, the wardrobe next to Dicky's bed opens. He sees something moving inside and screams. Fed up, Ti puts him in the wardrobe as a punishment. Terrified, Dicky prays for protection. It is then that the green ball begins to glow, creating an optical illusion and transporting Dicky to a strange dimension. There, he sees a creature with a cabbage-like head, repairing a broken object with its antenna. Over, Dicky discovers that the green ball is a stuffed doll. However, it can come back to life if the energy stone is replaced. Once the vision is over, Dicky discovers that the green ball has transformed into a small alien. Ti opens the wardrobe, and Dicky hides the creature. While Ti is at work, Dicky researches the alien and decides it must be a space dog. He calls it CJ7. They spend the night playing and dancing. CJ7 even uses its powers to restore a rotten apple, convincing Dicky that it is truly magical. The next day, Dicky goes to school with CJ7 on his shoulder. He proposes a test. If CJ7 can beat the meanest dog in the neighborhood, it will prove it is a superior alien dog. CJ7 charges the dog and wins. Dicky feels proud and marches toward the school. Later, in the school bathroom, Dicky asks CJ7 to help him get a perfect grade on an upcoming exam. CJ7 gets to work and manufactures high-tech glasses. Small robots come out of the glasses and scan the classmates' exams. Johnny notices the robots and tries to catch them, accidentally attacking the teacher. Another classmate, Fanny, uses the chaos as an excuse to do the same. The results are revealed, and for the first time, Dicky gets an A. While he celebrates, the teacher asks to see his glasses. Dicky throws them to him, but they explode in his hands. After reuniting with CJ7, Dicky tells him that the next class is gym and that he will need super sneakers. A few seconds later, the shoes are ready. The teacher shows the students his personal jump record and claims no one has been able to beat it. However, Dicky jumps the hurdle with ease. Suspicious, the teacher lowers the bar and asks the boy to jump again, finding it strange that a child has such skill. Dicky accepts the challenge, and, this time, his sneakers allow him to jump even higher. When he moves to the treadmill, the shoes release mechanical legs that attach to his own, allowing him to run so fast that even the treadmill cannot keep up. It ends up breaking. In swimming class, Dicky stands out again. When he dives into the pool, propellers come out of his sneakers, allowing him to glide rapidly underwater. In soccer, his kick is so powerful that it destroys the goalpost. At this point, the gym teacher realizes something is wrong and challenges Dicky to a fight. Surprisingly, Dicky wins. Just then, Ms. Yuen appears and tells Dicky he is in serious trouble. Meanwhile, Mr. Chow arrives with several police officers at the field, but Dicky escapes as his sneakers now allow him to fly. After seeing a cloud in the shape of CJ7, Dicky suddenly wakes up with the rest of the apple in his mouth and realizes it was all a dream. At that moment, his father arrives home and tells him to get ready for school. Shortly after, Dicky finds the little monster in his backpack. Even though it was a dream, he now believes CJ7 is real and could help him get a 100 on the next exam. On his way to school, Dicky stops in an alley and challenges CJ7 to defeat a dangerous-looking dog. CJ7 bravely accepts, but the dog lunges at him and throws the little alien far away. Both Dicky and CJ7 flee for their lives. Frustrated and disappointed, Dicky decides to take CJ7 to school anyway. In the bathroom, Dicky argues with CJ7 and demands magical help for the exam. But all the little alien can produce is a super poop. Desperate, Dicky takes it to class anyway. During the exam, he stares at the poop, waiting for answers, but nothing happens. Mr. Chow announces that time is up, and Dicky hasn't written a single word. Johnny mocks him for bringing poop to class, and even throws it in Dicky's face. Humiliated and furious, Dicky, possessed by rage, sticks CJ7's head into a toilet and accuses the alien of having deceived him. He demands CJ7 hand over his magic tools, but instead receives another explosion of poop. In gym class, the teacher has the gardeners hose Dicky down because he smells so bad. Ashamed, Dicky looks for CJ7 again. He pretends to be sorry and asks him to come out of hiding. Believing the apology, CJ7 approaches, only to be captured and thrown into the trash. Dicky walks away, but soon realizes his mistake and runs back. Unfortunately, the garbage truck has already passed. Dicky chases after it, screaming, but no one pays attention to him. Later that day, he tells his father he has lost the toy. Crying, he doesn't know what to do. Ti, however, says a strange creature had appeared around the house, apparently waiting for Dicky. When Dicky sees CJ7, the alien jumps into his arms, appearing to have forgiven him already. Ti is curious and tries to inspect the alien. Dicky insists it is just a toy, but his father bends, twists, and even crushes CJ7 with an iron plate. However, the alien remains unharmed. Determined to destroy it, T keeps trying, but Dicky begs him to stop. That night, Dicky has trouble sleeping because of the heat. CJ7 silently uses its magic antenna to repair the fan and then collapses from exhaustion. In the morning, Ty is surprised that the fan works. Dicky then shows him his exam. He got an A. Ty is overwhelmed with pride. At school, Dicky walks with CJ7 on his shoulders. The class bullies see him, and CJ7 quickly hides in Dicky's backpack. Johnny demands to know what he is hiding, but Dicky ignores him. Johnny steals the backpack and captures CJ7. Although the alien escapes, Johnny catches it again and tries to dissect it with tools, but nothing works. Dicky breaks free and jumps on Johnny, giving CJ7 the chance to escape. Just as Dicky is about to hit Johnny, Dragon appears and grabs his arm. Before he can strike, Maggie intervenes. She throws Dragon away with ease and, when he attacks again, defeats him with a single blow. She checks on Dicky, and he thanks her. Mr. Chow appears and punishes all the students. While they are sitting in the courtyard, CJ7 sneaks up and hugs Dicky. The boy proudly shows his classmates the tricks CJ7 can do. He orders him to sit and make funny faces. But shortly after, CJ7 collapses and begins to fade. At work, Ty proudly shows his colleagues Dicky's perfect exam grade, but his boss accuses the boy of cheating. After inspecting the paper, he reveals that Dicky had actually gotten a 0 and had forged the grade. The next morning, Ty confronts Dicky about the forgery. The boy confesses. Ty takes CJ7 away and says Dicky can only get him back after scoring over a 60 on a real exam. That day, Dicky takes another exam, this time determined to earn it honestly. Meanwhile, Ty is working on a high-rise construction site. Suddenly, a heavy metal cylinder falls with the rope tangled in Ty's legs. He is dragged off the structure and tries to hold on. His colleagues run to help him, but the tarp he is clinging to tears, and T falls into the void. At school, Dicky is delighted with his exam results. But Ms. Yuen takes him to the hospital, where he receives devastating news. Ty did not survive the fall. Heartbroken, she takes Dicky home and tells him. The boy collapses, begs her to leave, and says his father will come back when he has slept. That night, in the hospital, CJ7 crawls out of the bag Ty had taken to work to keep Dicky from carrying the toy. Seeing Ty's lifeless body, the alien tries to heal him. At first, the wounds begin to close, but it is not enough. Exhausted, CJ7 keeps going, pushing its powers to the limit. When Dicky wakes up, he finds his father sleeping next to him. Overjoyed, he hugs him and asks him never to leave again. Ty hugs him back. Moments later, Dicky finds CJ7, who can barely walk and makes strange noises. Suddenly, its antenna drops a glowing sphere, and CJ7 turns into a ragdoll. Ty thinks the toy's battery has run out. They try everything to bring him back, but nothing works. Still, Dicky takes CJ7 everywhere, hoping that one day his friend will return. During the summer holidays, the students gather for a picnic. Suddenly, a flying saucer appears, and CJ7's antenna begins to glow.